what's going on YouTube? You're back with the Prez. And today we're going to talk about something I'm going to call a protein debunk, a protein myth. We're going to dispel something that I'm hearing a lot lately. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about optimal sources of protein. Now I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you both sides of the spectrum. We're going to go over vegan sources. We're going to go over what I would consider not carnivore sources, but someone who doesn't limit any type of food products that eats protein from sources other than plants. So we're going to be going over what a vegan would consider optimal protein. We'll be going over what someone in my realm of the world would consider optimal protein sources. And like I said, this is going to be like a protein debunk, a protein dispel type video. So let's take one step back and let me give you guys a little basic breakdown on calories, nutrition one more time. So remember guys, there's only 3 macronutrients that count that are going to ever supply you with food. Remember, calories and nutrients and energy. There's only protein, carbs, and fats. Those are the only 3 macronutrients that make up any type of food source on this planet. Remember, minerals, supplements, vitamins, there's no energy in those. Those are just micronutrients. They provide no actual energy or substance to your body. The only food sources, the only macronutrients that supply substance to your body are protein, carbs, and fats. And let's just say this, remember this, there are only 2 essential nutrients. There's only essential protein and essential fatty acids. There's no such thing as essential carbohydrate, but we'll save that for another video. So like I said, there's only 3 macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats. Now remember this guys, protein. 1 gram of protein is always going to be worth 4 calories. 1 gram of carbs is always going to be worth 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is always going to be worth 9 calories. Now remember guys, we're going to be looking at things in a whole now. What's a whole made up of? 100% equals a whole. So when we're looking at macronutrients or food sources, we're going to be considering them as a whole 100%. Now remember guys, 4 calories per gram of protein, 4 calories per gram of carbs, and 9 for fat. So now I'm going to make up a food off the top of my head and we're going to break it down. If you guys could go into a store, find the specific food that I'm making up, and read the nutrient label, and it breaks down like this. So let's say we go to the store and we find a piece of food and it breaks down 2 grams of fat. This is what the nutrition label is going to read. 2 grams of fat, 10 grams of carbs, 10 grams of protein. Now remember guys, 4 grams, 9 grams. 4 calories, 9 calories. Protein, carbs, fats. So if there's 10 grams of protein, there's going to be 40 calories coming from protein. If there's 10 grams of carbs, there's going to be 40 calories coming from carbs. Because remember, 10 times 4 is 40, 4 calories per gram of protein. So 10 grams of protein times 4, we're going to get 40 calories of this specific food item are going to come from protein. 10 times 4 carbohydrates, so 40 more calories of this specific food item are going to come from carbohydrates. And we had 2 grams of fat in this food item. So 9 times 2 is going to give us 18 calories. So we have 40, 40, 18. That's going to put us at a total of 98 calories for this specific food item that I just made up off the top of my head. So guys, let's look at it like this. 100%, remember this guys, 100% of the item. So 98 calories equals 100%. So if you were to break down that into percentages, what would you have? You would have 40% of the calories are coming from protein now, because 10 times, basically this is how it's going to break down. If you were to break down that into 100 out of 100% into 3 percentages, remember there's only protein, carbs, and fat. So 40% of those calories now are coming from protein, 40% of those calories are coming from carbs, and only 20% are coming from fat. Remember, this is a food that I made up. So what would you consider this food source to mainly be consistent of? Protein and carbs, not fat, right? So this food source would be mainly consistent of protein and carbs because they're consisting of 80% of the total content of this food, and only 20% of calories are coming from fat, right? So remember guys, so now let's look at someone from my standpoint who's a coach who does diet plans, who breaks down meal plans and macros for clients, and someone like a dietitian. Remember, I'm not a registered dietitian, but I am a certified personal trainer, and I do have background knowledge in this, and I do diet plans for my clients. So someone from my realm, when I'm doing meal plans for someone or calorie plans, remember, everything is always done as a whole. So if you're on, just for instance, a 2,000 calorie plan, we look at 2,000 calories at 2,000 calories as a full 100%, right? So if I was to break down the calories, let's just say 33, 33, 33. Remember, 33, 33, 33 is 100%. So I would just say, for instance, making it up, all right, so 2,000 calories, 33% of your calories are going to come from protein. I want 33% of your calories to come from carbs. I want 33% of your calories to come from fats. So break down 2,000, divide that by 3. We're going to get about 750, about 6, a little under 700 calories per each food source, right? So this is another food that I just made up. So 2,000 calorie food, I'm saying, 2,000 calorie diet. I'm telling you to eat 33% of your calories from fat, 33% of your calories from carbs, 33% of your calories from protein. Basically, it would break down to a little over 600 calories from each food source, right? So guys, that was a little basic intro on nutrition and how macronutrients and breakdowns work. So now let's look at a vegan source of protein, what they would consider optimal. I've been hearing a lot of vegans and a lot of people, and again, I have nothing against the vegan. If you could do it right, go for it. But now I know a lot of vegans would consider nuts, seeds, legumes optimal sources of protein. Now, in my opinion, what is considered optimal? Optimal, in my opinion, would mean that out of the whole 100%, the majority of that 100% should be coming from protein. So the majority of the calories of a specific item should be coming from protein if it would be considered optimal. Also, digestible, easily digestible, the most bioavailable that's going to provide you with the easily absorbed source of protein, right? To me, that would make up optimal. So now let's take, like I said, let's look at a vegan standpoint. I know many vegans consider, like I said, nuts, seeds, legumes, optimal sources of protein. So let's take a jar of peanut butter. Right here I have organic peanut butter. I use it on the reg. Vegans or people in vegetarian realm, not so much vegetarians, vegan realm would consider nuts, great source of protein. Now in this ingredient jar of peanuts, which is what I recommend people getting, all you have in here is organic peanuts and sea salt. So the breakdown of macronutrients here are going to be coming from the peanuts. The same thing you would find if you bought a bag of nuts, almonds, walnuts, pistachios. All nuts, bags, serving sizes range to be about the same. So if you're going to buy a bag of walnuts, a bag of hazelnuts, a bag of peanuts, almond butter, peanut butter, it's always going to be the same serving size. Around 28 grams, 38 grams, about that 1 ounce serving size. That's going to be an average serving size of nuts or peanut butter. Average calories in that is going to range between 170 to 200 depending on the type of nut you're eating. There are some are lower in fats and some are higher in fats. So let's look at peanut butter. Common. Most common food that people are going to eat and get their protein from if you're a vegan and like nuts, right? Because they're the most tasty nuts. So now let's break this down. Peanut butter. This is going to be the same breakdown if you had peanuts or walnuts or a bag of cashews like that. Total fat, 15 grams. Total carbs, 7 grams. Total protein, 8 grams. So now, 180 calories in this serving. So now let's break it down. Remember guys, I just told you how to do the breakdown. Protein, 8 grams. So we're doing 8 times 4. That's 32. 8, 16, 24, 32. So we have 32 calories out of the 180 coming from protein. We have 7 grams of carbs. 7 times 4, that's 28. So now we have 32 calories coming from protein, 28 calories coming from carbs. That puts us at 60 calories. 60 out of the 180. That's 1/3 of the calories. 1/3 of the calories to combine are coming from carbs and protein. That means 2/3 of the calories have to be coming from the next macronutrient, which is fat. So then we have 15 grams of fat. Remember, 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So now we have to do 15 times 9. Now I'm not the best at math, but off the top of my head, let's see, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 120. We're looking at about 135 of these calories now coming from fat. So remember, this total calorie count is at 180. So if we did the 8 times 4 puts it at 32, 7 times 4 puts it at 28, that's at 60. That would leave us at a remainder of 120 calories, because 120 plus 60 would be 180. And now if you do 15 times 9, that actually gives you 135. So this would be, if you actually added this up, this would come to 195 calories. Now remember this, guys, nutrition labels are allowed to have a standard, I think it's called standard deviation, or have a slight percentage where they're allowed to be off. So for instance, you could have a range of 5% calories this way or 5% calories this way. So you could deem your food you could label your food 5% lower than what it actually is, in a range of 5% higher, lower, or in the middle of that range. So labels are not always 100% accurate. Remember that, guys. If you're going to break down these calories, it's going to actually break down to 195. But most people don't know how to do that. But I just taught you. So remember, guys, let's just say for this instance, 120 calories, because we're going to count it as 180. So 120 calories are coming from fat. Let's just make it easy. 30 from protein, 30 from carbs. So that gives us a 60, 30, 30 split, right? I mean, a 60-30 split. That's 2/3 fat compared to protein and carbs combined. So in my opinion, how could this be an optimal source of protein if 60% of the calories are coming now from the fat? To me, that doesn't make too much sense, because remember, in my opinion, optimal should mean that the majority of the calories should be coming from protein, and the protein should also be easily digestible. Now, if you're having all this fat in there along with these carbs, it's going to slow down the digestion of protein. And remember, guys, this is not a complete protein. Nuts do not provide complete source of protein. So in order to make this complete, someone who's eating a nut as an optimal source of protein would now, for 1 ounce serving, would be getting 180 calories just for this 1 ounce, 180 calories, a small 8 grams of protein, a high 15 grams of fat, and then to make it complete, still have to pair it with another carb source or another vegan source of protein, right? To me, that doesn't make sense. So now let's look at it from someone on my standpoint who eats meat, who eats eggs, who eats fish, someone who's not a vegan, who does not exclude products of food or categories of food. Let's look at a piece of chicken. Let's look at a lean piece of grass-fed meat. So an average calories, and I don't even have to have this in front of me because I've done this for years. I track for years now, guys. And I could have did this off the top of my head also. I didn't need that to show you guys. I knew the numbers. So remember, now let's look at a piece of grilled chicken breast, 4 ounces. Let's look, 1 ounce serving peanut butter, 4 ounce serving of grilled chicken, 4 ounce serving of lean grass-fed beef. Doesn't even have to be grass-fed lean meat, right? Average 4 ounce serving. So an average 4 ounce serving of chicken or lean meat, you're going to get 1 to 3 grams of fat, 0 carbohydrates, because remember, there's only 2 essential macronutrients, fats and protein. Carbs are not essential. There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. Remember, fats break down to essential fatty acids, and proteins break down to essential amino acids. Essential meaning your body needs to get them from other food, from outside sources. Another video. So, like I said, grilled chicken breast, lean piece of meat. 1 gram of fat to 3 grams of fat average per 4 ounce serving. 25 to 35 grams of protein per 4 ounce serving. 0 gram of carbohydrates. So now let's break that down calorie-wise. So let's look at it on the high end. Let's look at it on the high end. 1 to 3 grams of fat. So let's put 3 grams of fat, giving us 9 times 3, 27 calories coming from fat. Now let's look at it on the low end of protein. 25 grams. 25 times 4, 100. So now we have 100 calories per 4 ounce serving. 100 calories per 4 ounce serving of lean chicken or meat or red meat. 100 calories per 4 ounce serving coming from protein. 100 calories coming from protein, and only 27 coming from fat. That only puts us at 130 calories per 4 ounces, as opposed to 180 calories for 1 ounce, plus something you have to combine with also. So per 4 ounce serving of lean meat or grilled chicken, you're getting 4 times the protein and 1/8 of the fat content and less calories. And it's more easily digestible, more bioavailable to your muscles and your body. So to me, optimal in that sense would look at grilled chicken, lean meat, lean fish. To me, that seems optimal source of protein, right? Why? Because remember, 70% of the calories now are coming from protein, 0% of the calories are coming from carbohydrates, and only a 20%, 30% max coming from fat. That's 3 times the amount of protein calories compared to fat calories, as opposed to 2 times the amount of fat calories compared to protein and carbs combined. You don't get carbohydrates when you're eating lean meat, guys. You don't get carbohydrates in meat sources, fish, eggs, meat, chicken. There's no carbohydrates in those foods. Like I said, I'll save that for another video, but there are only like I said, there's 3 macronutrients. Only 3 things can provide your body energy. That's protein, that's fat, and that's carbohydrates. Only 2 of them are essential. Essential means your body cannot make these macronutrients. You need to get them from food sources. You need to get essential fatty acids. You need to get essential amino acids. You do not need, because there's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. So listen, guys, I hope this gave a little bit of insight to you on the protein myth, optimal source of protein, and just, like again, I'm going to say this one more time, I have nothing against being a vegan. If you could do it right, more power to you, but in my opinion, it's a lot more work, you get less bang for your buck, and it's just going to be not as enjoyable because it's going to be limiting you in lifestyle factors in general. So I hope this helped you guys out. I hope this dispelled a little bit of information, debunked whatever myths you guys may have had, or cleared up whatever confusion there was in this category. So Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have a question, leave a comment, DM me. Let me know what else you want to see, what else you want me to talk about. Don't forget, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Please share the videos. Let's get this channel growing. Don't forget, I have merch out now also, guys. If you're interested, DM me. I have it on my I have the link on my website, but I just haven't put the merchandise out yet because I haven't figured out the shipping logistics yet. I have a lot of fans overseas. Thank you guys for the support that want to buy the shirts overseas, but it's really expensive to ship overseas, and I just don't find. I hate to have you guys pay so much to ship it, which also, like, it's almost equivalent to the price of the shirt. So I'm trying to work those things out. So like I said, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. I hope this helped you guys out. Peace out. Bar Naturals.